We've got some St. Patrick's Day spring training baseball for you from the Cactus League in Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona, as the Cubs welcome your Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi, everybody. Along with Rick Monday, I'm Tim Neverett. Kirsten Watson will join us in just a little bit. Some position battles still continue in the outfield. And Trayce Thompson in the lineup today, his first game since the 28th of February.
Less than 2 weeks away from opening day for Trayce Thompson. Hit the big home run for Great Britain in the WBC. Well, he's back in the fold as far as with the Dodgers, but the other competition between two other players, and we're going to see both of them. Jason Heyward has not been consistent. Always had a couple of home runs, but not really putting the ball into play. But boy, some big news with one of the youngsters this year.
Of course, James Outman has been particularly good this spring, as he's been swinging a good shillelagh here.
He has, and he's played both sides of the ball. Offensively, defensively, runs the base as well. Competition is not a bad thing, but some guys really coming down. Again, less than 2 weeks from opening day.
And there's some competition for the fifth spot in the rotation. Kirsten's got more on that.
Thanks, Tim. There sure is. Earlier today, we heard that Tony Gonsolin, as much as he is progressing from his left ankle injury that happened in the backfields at Camelback Ranch, he is on flat ground. He is throwing the ball up to about 150 feet. We saw him earlier today. As much as he is progressing, it's not looking likely that he will be on the opening day roster. So that means for Ryan Pepiot, Michael Grove, as well as Andre Jackson, there's an opportunity for them to step in. So Ryan Pepiot has the ball today. The plan for him is 4 innings, guys.
Well, Pepiot continuing his preparations for the start here this afternoon against the Cubs. It's a wearing of the green today. Both teams wearing the green hats. Lots of folks have their own kind of green on here today. Dodgers, Cubs coming. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr., where all your charbroiled burger wishes come true. What a beautiful day here at Mesa. Sloan Park. This is the biggest of the spring training facilities in the Cactus League. Jason Heyward, Ian Happ sharing an embrace. Former teammates with the Cubs. And former Dodger teammates. Cody Bellinger on the left with Chris Taylor and Trayce Thompson. Bellinger in the lineup today for the Cubs. First time he'll play against the Dodgers this spring. This is the third spring training meeting between the Cubs and the Dodgers. Jason Heyward getting ready to lead off against his former teammates. The lineup brought to you by your Lexus dealers. James Outman, Trayce Thompson, and Max Muncy. J.D. Martinez, the DH. Chris Taylor at shortstop today. Vargas at second. Ryan Ward starts at first, and Patrick Mazeika will catch Ryan Pepiot. And Hayden Wesneski, 2-0 in the spring, is yet to give up an earned run. In fact, he had quite an outing against the Dodgers last week at Camelback Ranch. He pitched 4 perfect innings, including striking out the side in the 4th inning. And he seems to have a stranglehold right now on the 5th starter spot for the Cubs. There's a competition battle with the Cubs there, but Wesneski seems to have the leg up right now.
And he had the big sweeping slider working over at Camelback Ranch, Glendale. Opponents so far in his outings hitting just 161. He struck out 11 of the 33 batters that he's faced.
Wesneski getting ready to deliver the first pitch here today on a St. Patrick's Day, which is always a fun day in spring training. See the Cubs wearing their green caps, Dodgers as well. No green bases, though, today. Usually you'll see teams sometimes will have green bases, but green hair, that seems to be a big deal today around here. Did you forget yours, or?
Yeah, left it in the car.
Yeah, mine too. Green bow ties usually work on a day like today. There's your leprechaun hat. Sure you had Lucky Charms for breakfast?
St. Patty's Day, very similar to Halloween. You get away with almost everything.
Yeah. Except everybody dresses alike. Well, Dave Roberts and crew ready to go. Jason Heyward stepping in as we'll start this game. Dodgers 10-5-3, and the Cubs are 10-8. So Wesneski ready to go. First pitch of the ball game. In for a strike. 172 for Heyward, 5 for 29. And he's looking to get hot. He is just 1 for his last 19. Outside target set. This one is roped down the right side, and it will hook foul.
There was that slider, sweeping slider that didn't do a whole lot of sweeping, stayed on the same plane, and for Jason Heyward down the count 0-2. Big thing for Heyward, he's not made really consistent contact. But when he has made good contact, he sends the ball in a hurry out of the ballpark. He's done it twice.
Wisniewski out of Cypress, Texas, and Sam Houston State. Missed the mark on that pitch. Ball and 2 strikes to Jason.
Oh, you could see just really where the target was going to be set up. We talked about the fact that Heyward has had difficulty ball that is up and in, as most hitters do. But it has been problematic over the last couple of years in particular.
Ground ball toward the middle. Dansby Swanson will glove it, and there's 1 out.
The competition. You know, we talked about it in the open of the broadcast, and competition in the outfield.
It really hasn't been that way for the last few years for the Dodgers. You know, when you go to spring training, pretty much could pencil your lineup in, but not that way this year. James Outman slaps that one foul, strike 1.
Competition level, this young man, along with a couple other youngsters, have really been able to show it. I mean, the incredible average. I think more than just the batting average. What's the presentation of a young player? The way they handle themselves. Well, Outman has handled himself very well in his time at the minor league level. Now just waiting for the door to open at the majors.
A little looper right to Nico Horner at second base. 2 down. Nico Horner moving to second this year. Dansby Swanson taking over the shortstop duties. Now Trayce Thompson. 1 for 13 this spring. Had a very memorable World Baseball Classic with Great Britain. Say, okay, well, how does he get on the British team? Well, his dad, Michael, former Laker, was born in the Bahamas, so that would make him a British subject, at least at birth. And that was the tie-in to get Trayce on the Great Britain squad.
Yeah, I watched a couple of swings that he had, including that big home run for Great Britain, and the swing was shorter to the ball, not that long swing that's been problematic for him.
Thing Trayce really trying to concentrate on is hitting against lefties. He's got a right-hander to deal with today. He's done okay against right-handed pitching. But he knows he needs to improve against lefties, being a right-handed batter, if he's going to get at bats. Last year, his on-base plus slugging against lefties, his OPS, .621. Right-handers, .901. 2-2 right there, strike 3, and Wisniewski fires his 5th perfect inning against the Dodgers this spring, his first today. Ryan Pepiot coming out to face the Cubs when we return. Field and Dansby Swanson, Trey Mancini, and Cody Bellinger will be in the lineup for the first time against the Dodgers. Ryan Pepiot, no decisions, and an ERA of just 1.5 this spring. This will be his 4th start. 9 strikeouts for him in Cactus League play. Facing Nico Horner. Starts him off with a ball, 1-0. Horner 8 for 32 in the spring. Home run, 3 runs batted in. 1-0 is fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
For Pepiot, he was right on the money his first outing. You know, we look back to last year. He did not throw enough strikes. In fact, just 55% of the pitches were in the strike zone. Well, he was 81% his very first outing.
They walked to a lot of guys. Walked 27 in 36 1/3 innings.
Well, he simply got behind too many counts to where he really could not flex his muscle. Of course, his big pitch, the changeup, But he's throwing the ball past some guys too with a heater.
How much more confidence can he have now being in the position he's in as compared to last year? Having gone through it a little bit, making his major league debut, and now knowing what the situation is with the Dodger rotation, competing for a spot.
Tim, that's why it's so important that you bring up a young man that understands. Okay, he was up briefly with the big league ball club as he's adjusting his pitch comp speaker and the lining of his baseball cap. But you have an idea then when you come back to spring training. Okay, I know what the demands are. I know what the efficiency was or lack thereof. Something you think about and you can work upon.
Ian Happ, switch hitting outfielder. Pretty good spring so far. 9 for 28. He'll take a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Happ did a good job last year also in cutting down the strikeout rate. He was a guy that hit better at home. 308 versus 236 on the road.
The air to center field. Thompson. 2 down.
So we're looking at the Cubs with David Ross, the manager, in his 4th year, coming on with a ball club that was 74 and 88, finished 19 games behind the division leading club of the National League. But that was an improvement. The year before they finished 24 games out of first.
So Dansby Swanson having a slow start to spring training. He has just 1 hit. He's 1 for 22. And in his last 6 games, he's 0 for 15 with 8 strikeouts. Signed a 7-year, $177 million deal to go with the Cubs.
28, David Ross, the manager of the Cubs, looking on. Ross with a 15-year major league career as a catcher.
Swanson clubs this one foul. Well down the left field side.
Well, they're not too concerned about Swanson and what he's going to be able to do. 25 home runs last year, 96 runs batted in.
You know, with certain guys, certain teams just don't have concerns about spring training numbers. Swanson's one of them. He'll hit. The back of his baseball card doesn't lie, so they know he's going to hit. He just hasn't hit in March. He is out on strike, so Pepio 1, 2, 3 strikes out 2. Good inning for Ryan. Go to the 2nd inning, no score at Sloan Park.
I can't afford to follow my.
A lot of blankets out here. Fans basking in the sun on this St. Patrick's Day afternoon. Max Muncy now to face Wisniewski. 25-year-old right-hander delivers home. Tip into the glove of the catcher Tucker Barnhart. At 196. Didn't mean he wasn't productive. Still had 21 home runs, drove in a bunch of runs. But certainly Max would much prefer to get up over the 200, maybe get in the mid-2s, high 2s if he can.
Well, he finally said his elbow is healthy. He said it finally feels strong. He really had to alter the swing last year.
Foul. He's 8 for 27 here in the spring. 3 doubles. That's an important number. I think, you know, the walks are going to be there for Muncy this year, but you'd really like to see the doubles improve in terms of that number. Waves and misses, and he's down on strikes.
There's the slider from Wisniewski. That is a big pitch for the right-hander.
From the hitter's standpoint, Rick, right? You see it in one area, and by the time you swing, it's somewhere
not
else.
that little darting, sinking slider. It's a big sweeper.
J.D. Martinez with 1 out. Wave and a miss. So far, the Dodgers are having a little trouble. Not just this game, but the last time they saw Wisniewski too.
talked a little bit about Martinez in last night's broadcast. To me, he's just not picking the ball up yet out of the pitcher's hand. Pitch recognition. He's down 0-2. There hasn't been a strike thrown, really.
He just keeps spinning the ball up there, and he's got another strikeout. Wisniewski with 2 down. He's retired the first 5.
Wisniewski now has 14 strikeouts. And the 38 batters that he's faced.
Chris Taylor has 1 for his last 23. Looking to get going. He takes a strike. 3 straight strikeouts. He got Thompson to end the first, and now Muncy and Martinez to start the second.
But Taylor, the Dodgers are hoping that all of a sudden it's going to click, and that does happen in spring training, where all of a sudden it falls into place. Because right now Taylor is taking too many good pitches for strikes and then swinging and missing at some other pitches. He's not chased a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, but he's had difficulty making contact, which he did last year. There's only one player who had a lower contact percentage than Taylor last year. That was Joey Gallo.
That's popped up, foul ground. First baseman Matt Mervis with the catch right near the rain tunnel. 6 up and 6 down for the Dodgers. The first inning and a half, no score.
It's the Carl's Jr. and Hardee's Happy Star.
Pepiot to face Trey Mancini. 0-1 to Mancini, former Oriole. Decent spring, 433, 13 hits, and 30 at bats, 2 home runs. And Cody Bellinger waiting on deck. A strike, and it's 1-2.
They got Mancini last year with Baltimore and Houston combined 143 ball games, 18 home runs. He's a career 265 hitter.
Good power, always has had that.
He's played 752 career games at the big league level. Has 125 he's hit out of the ballpark.
Popped up to right, and a long run for Hayward over by the line. He'll get there for out number 1. Now Cody Bellinger will come up in another uniform against the Dodgers for the first time. Bellinger 5 for 26 in the spring, just 192. He's 2 for his last 19. One of those 2 hits was a solo home run yesterday. Choking up just a little bit on the bat. Standing tall in the box. Takes ball 2.
So you can change the stance a little bit more. The bat held parallel to the ground. Remember last spring he tried to change it more vertical.
He's got a different handle in the bat too. That tapered handle, it's new.
And he chokes up. You know, a lot of guys will go to that tapered handle if they wind up getting a lot of blood blisters in the palm of their hand.
Swinging 3-0, fouls it off.
But if you watch Bellinger, the bat position to begin with, he's very upright with his legs. First thing he has to do is to bend the knees. Then you see the different hand action. And a lot of fastballs, he's just late to the dance as far as the swing.
Pepiot dealing 3-1. That's a strike.
And that ball was by him. I mean, when you look at it, is that the timing has been off. And it was that way with the Dodgers. It just looked like he was trying to play catch up too many times.
He walked him. Pepiot got himself behind the 8 ball going 3-0 against Bellinger anyway.
It's only the second walk that Pepiot has allowed versus 13 strikeouts.
Mike Napoli, the first base coach, down there to greet Bellinger. Here's Eric Hosmer. Long-time Royal. Padres, last with the Red Sox. The Red Sox released him.
7 years with Kansas City. We saw him for 4 in San Diego. We talked so many times, Tim, about pitchers having reverse splits. Well, Hosmer was reverse split. Last year hit .324 against lefties. Only .245 against right-handers.
Should be the other way around, you'd think. Hot shot down to second. Vargas from a knee to short. Taylor the turn. Double play. And the inning is over. Nifty double play turn by the Dodgers. Started by Vargas. Eric Hosmer a hot shot, but turns into 2 outs.
Form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Dodgers.
Vargas with a nice start to this double play. This ball was stung off the bat of Hosmer.
Vargas a good job also to make sure that he had good grip. The old adage is make sure you get the lead runner.
So Vargas leads off here in the 3rd inning. No score. Wisniewski has been dealing. He's had 3 strikeouts in the game. He has not allowed more than 3 men to come to the plate in any inning he's pitched against the Dodgers this spring.
Throw strikes. He has challenged hitters.
They made an interesting adjustment to his arm slot. He dropped it down a little bit. He looked at somebody to model his delivery after, and he looked at Charlie Morton, a right-handed pitcher who actually did the same thing by copying Roy Halladay. And it made all the difference for him as he strikes out Vargas looking. That's 4 strikeouts for him this afternoon.
And all 4 of the strikeouts had been on the slider. Now that one looked like it slid off the strike zone.
Ryan Ward is the hitter, playing first base today. Take low ball 1. Well, the Dodgers had a day off on the 14th. They had an unexpected day off on the 15th due to impending rain, which eventually came and would have washed the game out after an inning maybe. Down to second base. Horner flips over to first, and they were 2 down. But after the back-to-back days, the Dodgers have had just 1 run over their last 11 innings. Yesterday they lost 3-1 to the Rangers.
If you go the week before this, they had 2 or 3 games in a row that the offense was rather inconsistent.
Patrick Mazeika looking for his first hit of the spring. He's 0 for 11. 2 outs.
He's in a 29.
Mazeika from the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame, Springfield, Massachusetts. Western part of the state. 2-1 to Mazeika. Mazeika batting 9th for the Dodgers. Hayward on deck. Wisniewski deals him outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Top of the 3rd inning. 2 men out. The pitch. Here's the first base runner the Dodgers have managed against Wisniewski all spring. It's a 2-out walk.
So you go 8 up, 8 down. You strike out half of those batters, and then you walk a guy.
Sometimes baseball makes no sense.
Oh, funny game.
Hayward 0 for 1. He bounced out to the shortstop Swanson to start the ball game. And he'll look at a strike here. 2
Jason Heyward, a big guy, 6'5" to begin with, long arms, but he stands well off the plate. Now the question is, why does he stand there? Doesn't like to get jammed. Can he handle the outside corner of the plate as far off the plate as he's standing? You're going to come inside right now. At least attempted to. Barnhart, one of those catchers that sets up very early if they're going to come inside with a pitch. Is that something you can relay to hitters? No. In the past, teams have done it. This brings up another question. Is that cheating? No. Why should the hitter be the only person in the entire ballpark that does not know where every defensive player is? The catcher's a defensive player. So if he sets up inside, would you not say something if they overload the infield at the last second? This time they're going away.
2-1 pitch. That one is roped off the glove of Horner out into right field. That'll be a hit. Heyward with a hot smash. They're 2 on with 2 out.
And that's the swing that Jason Heyward is trying to recreate every at bat. The ball was down. It was not the problematic location of the ball up in the strike zone, but they tried to go away. Wisniewski did not get it quite to the outside corner, and for Jason Heyward, that had to feel good because he has struggled, as you mentioned before he came on, 1 for 19 to start today's game.
1 for 2 today. 2 outs. James Outman hit a soft line drive out to Horner for the second out of the first inning. It's inside, ball 1.
We talked about competition. Trust me, the players know that there's competition going on. And while your teammates and you're rooting the other guy on, you realize you have really a task at hand yourself.
Play on the left. Yeah, for sure. How does that affect the mental approach in spring training when you know it's a competition? A player like Outman in his position, how does he approach the at bat mentally?
Well, every spring you come to is competition, whether it's because of a numbers game trying to get the position or competition internally with yourself.
Press a little bit, or do you just take it?
There are some guys that, they're concerned about what everybody else is doing. You can only take care of your own backyard.
1-2 to Outman. 2 on, 2 out. Out of the stretch. Wisniewski ready to deal. Again, a foul away. That's up on the roof.
What we've seen with James Outman is that he is well beyond his years as far as maturity, the way he's gone about his business. And for a younger player, you know what you can do. The question is, can you repeat it at every level that you're ascending? Major League Baseball on a daily basis is light years away from AAA.
Came in the back door, struck him out.
Ooh. That back door is a long distance.
Dodgers will strand 2. Tickets, Dodgers.com/promotions. Dodgers and Diamondbacks are just inside of 2 weeks before opening night. Third baseman Nick Madrigal takes high 2-0. A little bit of competition at third base for the Cubs, and Madrigal in the mix. Patrick Wisdom also a candidate. Madrigal had some injury issues. Hadn't been able to stay on the field the whole time last year. So
just 59 games last year, a back issue, and then a growing injury.
Rick Sutcliffe there next to David Ross. Madrigal walks. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Cubs in the bottom of the 3rd. Mervis, the first baseman now. And Rick Sutcliffe was floating around the broadcast booth before the game today. Chance to say hi. Former Dodger.
He's arranging a golf game.
Oh, yeah.
Another one.
Another one. First time for everything, right? Strike to Mervis.
Mervis is an interesting guy for Chicago. He's just 24, and he was an undrafted free agent. But last year he started in A ball. Did so well, they moved him to Double A. Did so well there, they moved him to Triple A. So 3 different levels last year. How well did he do in A ball when he first started? He hit .350 in 27 games. The average dropped off in Double A. 53 games, hit .300. What about Triple A? 57 games, hit .297. So here's a young guy they look at and say, wait a minute, undrafted, free agent, and he's able to hit the ball like he has, at least did last year.
That's a good chunk of games in Triple A to be getting that. Runner goes, and the throw down is not in time. Madrigal with the stolen base. That is his 3rd stolen base in Cactus League play.
I was wondering if the Cubs are going to be aggressive. I say that because an inning ago, David Ross, the manager of the Cubs, called over his 3rd base coach, Willie Harris, and his 1st base coach, Mike Knapp. Don't know what the conversation was about. But David Ross was rather excited about whatever it was they were talking about. And now they have the stolen base going.
Lifted to shallow right. And Hayward's not going to be able to make the catch. He tried to dig the runner. It's a base hit for Mervis.
Mervis just fought the ball off. Outfielder, you know you can't get to it. You're hoping that maybe the base runner is looking at you and not able to see the flight of the ball. May have saved a run right there. That's why you see 3rd base coaches go over and talk to runners all the time. What are they talking about? Well, pick up the outfielders. Where are they playing to begin with? So you have maybe even a better idea initially off the bat where you had a chance to advance or not.
Tucker Barnhart fouls it back. You got a couple of Indiana guys facing each other right now.
So do you pick up the outfielder? Do you pick up the baseball? I'll go. I'm not going to go. Now you get the stop sign. But he still looked back at the plate. That's where you've got to put total trust in your 3rd base coach. If he tells you to stop, you stop. You don't have to worry about that. He'll tell you where the baseball is.
Foul back by Barnhart. He's out of Indianapolis.
After 8 years with the Cincinnati Reds. And 1 with Detroit.
Pepio. Butler University in Indianapolis. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Barnhart. Nobody out. Dodgers will trade 2 for 1 here if they have to.
Well, Barnhart is not a speedster, so if he hits the ball on the ground, yes, you give up a run. You're playing back to begin with 1st and 3rd. So from an infielder standpoint, you know, you make sure you catch the ball to begin with. Barnhart, by the way, has played 838 major league games. He's stolen 6 bases.
Goes down on strikes.
And I would imagine 5 of those were totally by surprise.
Might have been the back half of a double steal. First out. Barnhart goes down swinging. 3rd strikeout this afternoon for Pepio. Nico Hoerner 2nd time around. He went down swinging in the 1st. Cubs, like a lot of teams, looking to improve. Last year they missed the postseason for the 2nd straight year. 74 and 88 was the record, although after the All-Star break they weren't not that bad. They went 39-31 after the All-Star break, improved in a bunch of categories. Fly ball near the line, shallow right. Hayward's got it. Madrigal acts like he's coming, and the ball slowed down by Ward. Madrigal would have been safe, but he didn't know it at the time.
Well, here's a question. With Ward trying to cut the ball off, was that yelled to Ward by Mazika to cut the ball off? Because it looked like he was right on line. First baseman, the cutoff man. After Hayward staying behind the ball. Strong throw.
That might have been there on a good long hop.
It may have been.
2 outs. Ian Happ flied to center field. Cubs have runners at first and third. That one is sliced down the left field line, and the Cubs will get on the board. Madrigal comes in to score. Into third goes Mervis, and into second with a run scoring double is Ian Happ. 1-0 Chicago.
Sometimes hitters make it look very easy. Ball out away. Not a bad pitch at all. Good piece of hitting by Happ. Opposite direction.
That's where that leadoff walk hurts Pepio as he gets a visit from Mark Prior. Madrigal led the inning off with a base on balls, stole second. So he was in scoring position and then ended up getting to third on the single by Mervis. Here comes home plate umpire Dan Merzel to break up the party on the mound. Be there any second.
You know, there was some more clarification you brought up yesterday about MLB announcing that they're going to enforce the foreign substance policy this year more than they have in the past. And so many information. I mean, first of all, there were 871 different pitchers that towed the rubber last year at the major leagues. Not one was caught using a foreign substance. But they started to look at the spin rate over the last 2 or 3 years, and the second half of the season last year, the spin rate increased.
Why do you suppose that was?
They believe that it brings up a good question. Does baseball therefore believe that because of extreme spin rates improvement, therefore the ball is going to move more?
2-strike pitch to Swanson inside.
Were maybe some pitchers using some sticky stuff that was more difficult to detect? Or so anyway, they're going to check not only just the hand this year, they can check the glove, the cap, the belt.
Swing and a miss, out on strikes. Dansby Swanson, his second time striking out swinging. 1 run comes in, 2 hits, 2 left for the Cubs. We go to the fourth, 1-0.
Those cool spring nights with this retro themed Dodger hoodie. Visit Dodgers.com/promotion.
1-0 Cubs as we start the fourth inning. Dave Roberts wearing the green today. March 17th. I always expect teams to have the green caps on. Some will wear green uniform tops. Trace Thompson struck out first time up. Went down looking to end the first inning. Thompson came back from the WBC. Really great attitude about it. Saying what a wonderful experience it was. And said that, you know, they felt that they let Team USA off the hook. They actually had a lead in the game. And the opener at Chase Field in Phoenix on his home run got him out front. He really had a good time with it. As the WBC moves to Miami now. Pitch to Trace. It's fouled back. Like they moved the schedule a little bit. And Benji Gill, who's the manager for Team Mexico, reportedly today wasn't too happy about it because Mexico won Pool C that the U.S. and Great Britain were in. As Trayce takes a walk. And from what we understand, the way the schedule was that the Pool C winner was going to play on Saturday evening. But they flipped it around so the U.S. could play on Saturday evening in prime time, and Mexico will play Friday instead.
If you figure you're setting up your pitching, possibly, and that gets rearranged.
Once he takes a strike. I know that Julio Urias is planning on pitching for Mexico in their next game. Team Japan arrived overnight. It's a little bit of a commute from Tokyo to Miami to play a baseball game, don't you think? I wouldn't say they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today.
Well, it may not be, but you know, it is what it is.
They are very good too. That is a very good team. Pitch to Muncy. Rips it to the right side. That's through for a base hit. Muncy aboard. Max with his 9th hit of the spring.
So with Muncy with the elbow issue last year as a carryover from postseason the year before. Not only did he alter the swing physically, he had to. There was also not as much strength in the arm. But he feels really good about the way things have gone during the offseason, building up the strength, mobility. And the way things, at least right now, he's trying to hone in and get one distinct, very strong swing.
And the type of hit he just got there was one that he wouldn't have had in the last few years. And he's had a number of those this spring. I think that's going to help obviously raise his average during the course of the season. J.D. Martinez hammers one left center field, and it is gone. A 3-run shot for J.D. And the Dodgers jump in front 3-1. First spring training home run for Martinez.
Talked about pitch recognition. Is he seeing the ball out of the hand? Well, this is a breaking ball, and he saw it clearly. He wasted little time the first pitch in this at bat. So look at the location. Boy, that is a hitter's dream to get the breaking ball there versus having to really struggle for it. Struggle as far as a souvenir in center field.
Chris Taylor wave and foul off the breaking ball.
That's why the Dodgers looked at J.D. Martinez and used the designated hitter, and you put him in the middle of the lineup. You get guys on base in front of him. It can cause some damage and really puts a thought process into the opposing dugout, how you're going to manage against the Dodgers.
And that's the thing with Martinez. Get guys on base in front of him. Last year he had a career high in doubles. I mean, the 2 base hits are going to get runs home too. But the home runs don't bother anybody except the other team.
Nope. But here's a guy that they need some better, more consistent swings and more contact. Chris Taylor.
So offensively, in the first 3 innings, the Dodgers managed only 2 base runners. First 3 batters of this inning, 3 base runners. 1 more than the first 3 innings combined.
Well, how many times leadoff walks can change the face of an inning? That's exactly what happened here in the 4th.
Happened in the bottom of the 3rd too, when Pepio walked Madrigal to lead off the inning. That's how the Cubs scored.
For Taylor, notice a frustration, and understandably. There's times that he has been striking out when he's going back to the dugout. It's like a guy marching to the guillotine. But one thing about Chris Taylor, he plays hard every time he puts on a uniform.
Two and 2 to Chris. Hayden Wesneski, the Cubs starter, delivers. And Chris down on strikes. 1 out for the Dodgers now in the 4th.
Well, it's tough as a hitter when some days it's there and the other days it's not there, which is going to happen during the regular season with everybody. But for Taylor, it's just the frustration is still mounting. He's still looking for the consistency.
Miguel Vargas. We'll look at a strike. Vargas went down looking in the third.
On a pitch that seemed to be, well, slightly away.
0-1 pitch. That one is poked to right field and a base hit. Miguel and his horse, big turnaround first. He'll hold there. Solidly struck single by Vargas. They're really excited. I think Dodger fans should be really excited too to see what this guy's going to do all year. A full year in the big leagues. So David Ross comes and gets Hayden Wesneski. He gets through 3 1/3 innings and surrenders a home run to J.D. Martinez. 3-1 Dodgers and a pitching change.
Take a shot, win a prize. Go away. Let's make this a little easier.
Down to Nico Hoerner at second base in the third inning. And that struck to right field, a base hit. Vargas on his horse around second base. He'll be into third. Ryan Ward with a single. It's the 4th hit of the inning for the Dodgers.
Well, Ryan Ward with the power. In fact, the last 2 years at the minor league level, he's combined to hit 56 home runs.
He's got some pop. Right there he is talking to Chris Gutierrez, coaching first base again today. Coached last night. Gutierrez will be the bench coach in Oklahoma City this year. He was in Tulsa last year. Patrick Mazeika looking for his first hit. Fouls it off a foot, straight back to Bain. This is as good a time as any to get that first hit.
Different slot as far as the hitters pick up the release point. Bain, a big guy, 6'5".
Mazeika out of Stetson, DeLand, Florida. And there's his hit right there, and that gets another run in. Vargas will touch home and an RBI single from Mazeika, and the Dodgers now lead it 4-1.
So you were just waiting for you to mention the fact it'd be a good time to get a base hit.
Because what we say has anything to do with what happens down
Absolutely
there.
Nothing.
It works the other way too. That's got to feel good for him. Get on the other side of that first spring training hit. Hayward is 1 for 2, singled in the third. 2 on, 1 out. 1 ball, no strikes. Tried to get his swing a little flatter. That was part of the adjustments he was making. And the Dodgers were impressed with all the work that he put in and the travel too, because they asked him to come to Arizona, work with people there, go to LA, work with people there, and he did. No matter what they asked him to do, he did. In an effort to just adjust the mechanics of his swing. And he wraps one here to right. That's deep, and that is going to go off the wall. So 1 runner around third. That's Ward. He'll score. A run scoring double for Jason Hayward. He's 2 for 3. And the Dodgers now lead it 5-1.
And this ball was absolutely crushed. So we talk about the swing and repeating the swing. Well, watch this one. Talk about free-flowing swing. The ball was out away from him. And that's not the long swing that we have seen from Hayward, who has struggled with really the last couple of years.
Conversation now on the mound. with Max Bain, who came in to replace the starter Hayden Wesneski. Wesneski 3 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Jason Hayward, former Brave. Dansby Swanson, former Brave. Sure they have things to discuss. James Outman is 0 for 2 today. Not 2 runners in scoring position. Infield's going to come in even with the bags all the way around. This is what you want, I would think. You're trying to make the club. You get 2 guys in scoring position. Infield playing in mostly, and then you have a chance to get him in.
They're about halfway on the right side, all the way in on the left side.
Breaking ball. Hung up there, dropped in for a strike. 1-1 to James Outman. I mentioned it last night, but it's worth repeating. Last year, he did something incredible in AAA. He hit for the cycle twice in 4 days.
Well, Mazika can actually get a bigger lead at third base because well off the line is Madrigal, the third baseman. And Clayton McCullough coaching at third base while Dino Ebel is still with Team USA in the WBC. You see the disparity, how much room he has. He can get a much bigger lead and still be able to get back on a line drive to third. There's a country mile between Madrigal and the third base bag.
2-2 pitch to Outman. 3-2.
The 9th batter here in the 4th inning.
There's a 5 spot here after being shut down for the first 3 innings. Payoff pitch. Outside corner, barely, and he strikes out looking for the second time.
Well, one thing that we noticed is that Dan Merzel, the home plate umpire, to the outside of the plate. We saw earlier Miguel Vargas called a breaking ball that appeared to be outside, and this time, well, Outman gets rung up on a ball, well, a little south of center.
Thompson started it with a leadoff walk in the 4th, and a pitch clock violation as Bain took too long, so it's 1-0. And that's what we want to see from the umpire. We want to see him call time like that, get out from behind the plate. Beginning of spring training, a couple of guys just let the pitcher throw it, so it was confusing. But that is the way it should be called right there. 2 balls, no strikes now. Remember the first pitch clock violation we saw this spring, way back at the end of February over at Maryville. It was David Peralta who walked. It was ball 4. He was going to be on base anyway, but the home plate umpire let the pitcher throw the pitch instead of doing what Merzel just did. Thompson walks and the bases are full of Dodgers.
Well, it was still very raw as far as being new with the umpires. They were all adjusting and trying to look at it, and we don't know if the umpires in spring training are using the buzzer that alerts them that there has been a violation or not, or if it's basically they're looking at it visually.
Curveball inside to Max.
You know, very quickly, with a couple of pitches being called away, I talk about this from time to time. Hitters, you talk about scouting reports of pitchers. When you get scouting reports, you know which umpires call the ball inside versus outside, up, down. Like hitters, which umpires are better breaking ball umpires?
2-1.
All little nuances of the game, and when you're playing it at this level and you're studying it, the Dodgers, for example, during the regular season, they post in the locker room who the umpires are going to be, not only for that series, where they are assigned on that particular day.
2-2. Once he singled earlier this inning, he's also scored a run. There are scouting reports you can find online for umpires. Full count.
Including the following day on the score. What was the percentage of balls and strikes? Which areas did they miss the call, according to this one group?
I know we both of us look at that particular thing. We look at that every day. Runners go. And this one popped up foul and backing out of play.
There's another site you can look at for ejections from games with the video and the scenario that led up to the ejection. There's all kinds of stuff that's out there that you can find. It's amazing.
Base is full, 2 out. Merry-go-round will start. The pitch to Muncy. Ball 4, and Bain walks in a man. Six to 1. David Ross coming to get him. So another pitching change here in the 4th inning as the Dodgers have batted around. And J.D. Martinez coming up next.
It's the Carl's Jr. and Hardee's Happy Star. And the famous Star Burger. And the Superstar Burger. So many stars. My Rewards members get exclusive offers on the Carl's Jr. and Hardee's app.
Find out where.
He loses this one up into the hill. Home run in, home run out. First homer of the spring, and he's up for the 2nd time this inning. And they'll face Peyton Remy. 2 outs and the base is full. Martinez a chance to really blow this game open. That check swing roller off the front of the Dodger dugout. Peyton Remy from minor league camp. There's Ryan Pepiot visiting with Dave. Dave's probably explaining to him that might be it for this afternoon because of the length of this inning. Sometimes that will happen in a spring training game, like a regular season game. The only thing that would get a guy out with a long delay would be a rain delay. Well,
this is an example of how good Dave Roberts is in communicating with his players and trying to explain things. We talked about Pepiot. You know, the percentage of strikes last year when he got the call up, it was not really there. He got himself into trouble in that area.
Down the left field side. This will score more. Hayward comes in. Trace Thompson comes in. It's a 2-out, 2-run double for J.D. Martinez. He has 5 runs batted in this afternoon, and the Dodgers lead it 8-1.
Yeah, not a bad inning for Martinez. All 5 RBIs this inning. And really for Happ, not certain that he had the optimum throw back in because Martinez not a burner. With the throw coming back in the infield, Martinez was able to easily go to second base.
Swing and a miss from Taylor. For Taylor, 2 men in scoring position. He wants to keep the line moving. He has been struggling lately. 0 for 2 today, 1 for his last 25. Good time to break out of it. Behind in the count, 0-2. Facing Peyton Remy from Parker, Colorado, a suburb of Denver. And Chris strikes out on 3 pitches. 0 for 3 today, but what an inning here in the 4th as the Dodgers put 8 on the board.
My Mint Mobile Shake.
Decent afternoon. His work's done for now. He might go throw up in the bullpen, would be my guess. So Keegan Curtis will face Trey Mancini. The Dodgers are spotted themselves with a 7-run lead. Mancini flied to right field in the second. 0 for 1. Curtis out of Louisiana Monroe. Before college, Mobile, Alabama. Mancini takes inside. Fastball mid to upper 90s for Curtis. Also will throw a slider. Two and 2 to Trey Mancini. That's outside. 3 and 2.
Curtis last year spent some time. One of our favorite names of teams, the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Nice. That's up there. Chopper foul. Yep, Sod Poodles are up there. The Rocket City Trash Pandas, that's up there.
Lug Nuts, you've got to put in that.
Lansing Lug Nuts, the Yard Goats from Hartford. All big names can be fun. Pitch to Mancini, the 3-2. Fouled away.
Well, the minor league cities are really fun to watch the games because you're seeing possibly, stars of the future. Is that a year away? Is it 2 years away? 3 years away? Depends upon the level of ball.
You didn't spend a lot of time in the minors, did you?
No. I was not heartbroken about it either.
I'll bet you weren't.
No. In fact, I began where Curtis is from, Mobile, Alabama, my first full year.
9th pitch of the at bat is outside ball 4, and Mancini walks.
And in Mobile in the summer, you don't have any difficulty getting loose.
I wouldn't think so. About 3 tosses, all it would take, I would think. Mobile. That's always been that's been a minor league city forever.
It was a terrific city to play in.
Cody Bellinger, first ball swinging, grounds it to second. Vargas to Taylor, 1 on to first. He got him. 4-6-3 double play. And erases the leadoff walk.
It just turned over nicely. Vargas, you talk about quick hands, but also we saw Vargas last year work day in and day out with the infield coaches, and watch his feet. The reason I say watch his feet, see how he sets up. He turns, he gets the maximum he can, gives his shortstop a good feed coming across the bag.
Eric Hosmer grounded into a double play last time up. A little late on that pitch. Strike 1. Last year, Hosmer had a ground ball rate of 56.8%, third highest ground ball rate as a hitter in Major League Baseball. And when you hit the ball on the ground that often, you're going to ground into some double plays.
Well, especially last year with the shift being applied, you hit ground balls right side of the infield. Good luck. Saw a number. I talked about this the other day. I saw a number this winter where the shift was applied to 92% of all left-handed batters a season ago. Well, it'll be applied to 0 left-handed batters this year. Full yes. Shift. Adios.
The lefties are all excited about it. We've seen Max Muncy take advantage of it. That's helping him right now. Good breaking ball in for a strike. 3-2 from Keegan Curtis. That is a fair ball down the line, just past the outstretched glove of Ryan Ward. Hosmer rumbling to second base, and he'll beat the throw from Hayward for a 2-out double.
Ball was smoked. Well, for Hosmer, the veteran, you get a breaking ball that's coming in really in your wheelhouse.
Curtis was originally with the Yankee organization, signed with them as a senior sign out of Louisiana Monroe. Got traded from the Yankees to the Diamondbacks. He pumps a strike in here to Nick Madrigal. That was part of the deal where Tim Locastro went from the Diamondbacks to the Yankees. Keegan Curtis came the other way. That was 2 seasons ago. In the air to center, slight right center field. Trace Thompson galloping over to make the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On to the 5th, 8-1 Dodgers. Along with Rick Monday, Kirsten Watson, Tim Neverett back at Sloan Park, Mesa, Arizona. Beautiful ballpark here. 28-year-old right-hander Adbert Alzolay had started for the Cubs at one point in his young career, facing Miguel Vargas. And he buzzes the tower with the first pitch. 1-0. Miguel with a base hit in the 4th inning. Struck out looking back in the 3rd. Inside again, backed him up. Alzolay is one of those guys who's been around for a long time. He signed as a teenager out of Venezuela. This is his 11th year in the Cub organization. Signed back in December of 2012. And Vargas is hit. Alzolay was inside on him this whole at bat, and then plunked it.
His attention on the first pitch, as if that wasn't close enough.
Sarah, the trainer, going out to take a look.
There are times a hitter you want to just say, hey, come on, man. Play 17 inches wide. And Vargas is reminding the pitcher that, wearing number 17.
It's outside to Ryan Ward. Yeah, if you ever want to know how wide the plate is, just look at the back of Miguel Vargas's jersey.
I've been a couple of times today that the plate's been a little bit more than 17 inches.
It has been. Just ask James Outman. 1-1. And the pitch from Alzolay. A slap foul on play.
Actually, Ward, last 2 years combined at minor league level, 56 home runs. So he has made some solid contact at times.
Getting a good look here in spring training. He's had a lot of plate appearances. This one ends in a strikeout, however. 1 out. And for Alzolay, his record 9-16 in 45 major league games. Of the 45 games, he has started 27 of them. So the Cubs have moved him around from the rotation to the bullpen. And he'll be in the bullpen now. Strike to Mujica. His first major league appearance was in relief. It was against the Mets. June of 2019. And he got a win in relief. Mujica looking out, awaiting the 0-2. 1 out and 1 on. The Dodger fifth. And that's right to the second baseman. Horner throws on to first, and they will not get the double play. Vargas was able to skip back in time.
Went down, got a breaking ball.
Jason Hayward 2 for 3. Single double. Run batted in and a run scored. A long foul ball.
Talked earlier about Hayward. Well, he's hit the ball hard each of the last 2 times. 2 for 3 today. I talked about the distance that he is off of home plate as he calls time here. A lot of guys that their arms are not long enough, but again, Jason 6'5", long reach. A lot of guys can't cover the outside part of the plate that far off.
You spend so much time as a hitter, and you get into your stance, you measure where you are from the plate, and then obviously you know what the ball looks like if it's a strike or a ball because you spend so much time on it. But again, you're right, he stands further away than most.
Well, unless he extends his arm somewhat, if he were just to hold the bat out, would he actually have plate coverage, at least initially, right now? Probably not, unless he really extended his arms.
2-1. So if you're a pitcher and you see somebody standing there, why are you not throwing everything on the outside corner?
Is, do they dive into the ball?
That's another point.
In other words, is their stride coming closer to the plate? And for Hayward, it does come closer to the plate. But no avail here.
He strikes out. Alzolay gets 2 punch outs. Halfway home in Mesa, 8-1 Dodgers. Sidewinder Adam Kolarek in to pitch for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-1. The 5th time Kolarek's been out there. Ground ball specialist. Kolarek facing Matt Mervis. Tucker Barnhart and Nico Horner to follow. And the first pitch is looped into left field, a base hit. Oh, excuse me, base hit for Mervis. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Cubs. After a few years with the Oakland A's organization, another chance for Kolarek with the Dodgers. Barnhart went down swinging in the 3rd. Kolarek is a non-roster invite. And a strike right at the knees. Initially, he was drafted by the Mets and ended up in the Rays organization. He was there for a bit. 2010, he was drafted out of University of Maryland. And the pitch on the way now to Barnhart. And this one is sliced towards short, and it's off the glove of Taylor. They'll get the force out at second base. So they get 1 out of it. It's probably all they would have had anyway. I see Chris has the flip down sunglasses on, and Trace Thompson has them too today.
Actually, it works out better because you erase someone that can run with Barnhart. Again, has stolen 6 bases in 838 major league games.
That was all in the defensive plan, apparently.
Yeah. Ahead of time. Team meeting.
Nico Hoerner takes strike 1. And Barnhart will reach on the fielder's choice.
Hoerner's one of those guys I talked about the other day with the eye black. It's below his cheekbone. It's got to be on the top of the zygomatic arch to cut down the glare.
Bounding ball to Taylor. Flip to Vargas. 1 on to first. Double play. Third one the Dodgers have pulled off this afternoon. We'll head to the 6th inning in Mesa. The Dodgers up 8-1. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Friday night drone show, drone light show. It's going to be pretty spectacular. James Outman to lead off. Alzolay stays in for the Cubs. Outman looking to get into a little bit of the fun today. He hasn't had the opportunity to. He's 0 for 3. Struck out twice on a couple of borderline pitches. Wave and a miss here. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, borderline between outside and ridiculous.
That stroked into right field, and that will be caught. Mancini just got the leather in between the ball and the grass.
Boy, nice play too. Ball going to sink. Is it going to tail? Handled nicely.
You like those sunglasses he's got? Yep. Some of those guys are wearing them. They look like ski goggles.
Well, if they're dark enough, and that's the advantage if you're wearing the flip down glasses, because you can get the flip down glasses that are extremely dark.
Trace Thompson skies this one behind second base. Swanson battling the sun, and he makes the catch. He's got some shades. Two outs and Max Muncy. Muncy 1 for 2 with a walk. It's this one in the air to center field. Bellinger fighting the sun, and he makes the catch. A 6-pitch inning for Alzolay, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
It's the Carl's Jr. and Hardee's Happy Star.
Taylor Scott takes over for the Dodgers now as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Scott from South Africa wanted to go to high school in the States. Felt as a baseball player that was going to be his best opportunity to get noticed, and he did get noticed. Went to Notre Dame Prep in Scottsdale as he fires one to Ian Happ inside 1-0. He got offered a baseball scholarship at the University of Arizona, and the Cubs drafted him in the 5th round out of high school. So he said nope to the Wildcats. Did not go to Tucson and signed with the Cubs. worked his way through the minor leagues, eventually in the Mariners organization where he debuted in 2019. Also had some big league time with the Orioles that year. And pitched in Japan for Hiroshima during the 2020 season. The Padres briefly last year. Three and one to Ian Happ. Happ had an RBI double in the third, 1 for 2. And he walked him. It's the third leadoff walk we have seen in the game by Dodger pitchers. They may have done a good job in terms of limiting the walks this spring, but today they put 3 men on to start innings.
Yeah, overall, and you know who's keeping track. Well, Dave Roberts is aware of it, along with pitching coach Mark Prior. But the Dodgers entered today 3rd best earned run average, team ERA in Major League Baseball so far in spring. Now it's elevated what you would normally see, but Mark Prior aware is 3.66. And again, there's only 2 teams in spring. What does that mean? Well,
here to right and back after it. It is off the wall as Duggar was replaced. Hayward out there couldn't get to it. Happ will stop at third, and Dansby Swanson has had his first hit in what must feel like forever to him is at second base.
Swanson went down swinging in the first inning, again in the third inning, striking out. Hit this ball very well. Of course, you couldn't put it on a tee in a better spot there.
Right fielder Trey Mancini. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. So the outfield has changed. Duggar in right. Bradley Zimmer's in center. Drew Avens is in left. And Yanni Hernandez has replaced Muncy at third. Taylor Scott ready to deal. Fouled off. Now Scott had been with the Cubs initially. Became part of the Brewers organization. He signed as a free agent. In 16 and 17 he signed with the Rangers. In 19 the Mariners picked him up. And Mancini out on strikes. Cody Bellinger has made some really big defensive plays for the Dodgers. Fouls this one away. You'd have to say perhaps the biggest home run he ever hit was in Game 7 of the NLCS against the Braves in 2020.
The big year that he had. MVP.
Bellinger takes outside. Yeah, the second, in 2019, in that season, he was just dynamite, especially in the second half of that season. He really was a tough out, one of the toughest outs in baseball. And in the last couple of years with the Dodgers, he struggled with the bat.
Well, I think he just struggled to begin with the timing. And if you look at when his first movement is going, he's late. The first pitch in this at bat jammed him on a ball that was in on the inside corner.
Dave Roberts met up with Cody before the game out in the outfield. Rope down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases. This will plate 2. Bellinger around first, on his way to second. He's not stopping. Moving to third, and he will be there with a 2-run triple.
That's the timing he's looking for. You start to think, is that one of the areas that he has changed? There's a slight flex in the knees to begin with. There's no longer Statue of Liberty and straight up and down. This one not quite in on his hands as the first pitch of this at bat was that jammed him. But there, you know, you can put a lot of people in a relay team, and you want to think about having Bellinger. I don't know if he'd be the anchor of that team or not, but he'll be part of it.
One out, runner at third, 2 in. It's 8-3. Eric Hosmer had a double last time up with a 1-0 count. Two balls and no strikes to Hosmer. Gets a strike in on it. 2 balls, 1 strike. So for Bellinger, again, that's what the Cubs are hoping to see, what he just did there. You got to see how he'll hit at Wrigley Field. As you well know, Rick, and a lot of people who have played there know that that can be 2 different ballparks depending on which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah, and also he's going to cover a lot of ground right there. But one thing, I'm talking to Jim Deshaies, who's now broadcasting for the Cubs. We were talking about center field. I said one thing that does Wrigley Field, because of only 368 in the power hours.
Oh, Hosmer clubs this one to dead center field. Going back, Zimmer makes an over-the-shoulder catch. A fine catch by Zimmer. Bellinger will score. Zimmer might have stepped wrong near the wall. He was a little shaken there for a moment.
Boy, this is just a terrific catch. Dealing with the sun, going back, and knows about where the fence is. Of course, I've been a strong proponent of having every outfield the same measurements on the warning track.
Madrigal first ball swinging, hits it in the air to Duggar in right field. That'll take care of that. But 3 runs come in for the Cubs. Cody Bellinger's 2-run triple, the difference. It's 8-4 LA. Here in Arizona, as the White Sox will be the home team tomorrow at Camelback Ranch. 1 o'clock right here. Sunday, 1 o'clock. 6:30 on Monday night against the Rockies over in Scottsdale. Rowan Wick, 1-1 in spring training so far, facing J.D. Martinez, who's had a big day. He's driven in 5 of the 8 Dodger runs, and he did that all in the same inning. Got to hit twice in the 4th and had an RBI double, 2-run double, and a 3-run homer. And I know the count to J.D. Rowan Wick fires and is fouled off. Changes defensively for the Cubs. Luis Verdugo is at third base. And new shortstop as Dansby Swanson is out. Scott McKeon. Little breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Good looking pitch from Wick. Second time today, JD's gone down on strikes.
Just froze him there for an instant. That's all it takes.
Chris Taylor 0 for 3. Struck out twice. And it's 0-1 to him.
The Dodgers so far today have struck out 12 times.
Swings and misses. You mentioned something about Taylor not chasing all that much. He really does not. He's in the top 5 in terms of lowest chase percentage in baseball from last year.
Which is rather puzzling when you look at difficulty in making contact, whether you're selective, you're not offering it pitches that are way off the plate.
Makes good contact there. It goes out to center field. And that is going to be tracked down out there. DJ Artis with the catch. Artis has replaced Bellinger in center. Two down, and here is Miguel Vargas. Swing and a miss. What do you like about Miguel?
I like the fact he's not afraid to work. Defensively, he has really been flashing the leather, moving to both his left and to his right. And he seems to have another thing. Very good awareness of what's happening on the field.
Curveball is hammered to left field. This one's headed back to the wall. Gone. Home run. Miguel Vargas. That's his first spring training dinger. And the Dodgers now lead it 9-4.
And he just feasted on a breaking ball. You hang him, they'll bang him.
You got a hanger, all right.
You still have to hit it. And boy, did he ever hit it. A young man that hit over 300 last year and supplied some power with it.
I'm looking forward, as I mentioned earlier in the game, to see him play full big league season. Ryan Ward fouls it back. 0-2. I mean, it doesn't look like he's intimidated by anything. Two down, bases empty. 0-2. Curveball didn't come all the way down.
Well, one thing that we do know, it's a long season. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, and trying to stay out of the valleys for a long time.
Ward out on strikes, so Wick faces 4, gets 3 of them, and Vargas hits the home run. And Miguel Vargas takes us to the 7th inning stretch with his first spring training homer.
Down though really quickly. Go ahead. JD, you had 2 hits in 1 inning. One of them was a 3-run home run. The other one was a 2-run double. Just, I mean, at the plate, how are you feeling today?
Today I actually felt good because I actually made contact on the barrel. That's all I've been wanting to do since, to start of spring. I was like, I just want to pray for a barrel today. I joke around with the guys like, just please, all I care about, I don't care if it's an out, I just want to hit the ball in the barrel today.
So did something click for you think, offensively?
I don't know. We've been grinding, we've been working. It's usually, I'm a slow starter. Takes me a while to get going, but I don't know. It's just always the way it's always been. It's kind of a joke. They all make fun of me.
What did Robert Van Scoyk say to you when you came in from, I guess, at first, the homer?
He told me to pack up my stuff and leave. That's it. He could grab your stuff and get out of here. You're done. That's it. That's all I needed to see. Bounce.
And you ended on a high, but then you went back out there, the exact same inning, but a different pitcher, hit a double. I mean, the results are coming. Does it feel like at this point in spring, though, that you are kind of getting to the point where you're feeling ready for a regular season?
Yeah, getting there. I'm historically someone that needs a lot of at-bats. Like I said, I start slow, so, I feel like I'm getting close. I feel that the ball's actually starting to slow down a little bit. And it always takes time for me. The guys that come in here and just do it right off the bat, I tip my hat because I don't know how the heck they do it.
How does it go just kind of, obviously in spring you have guys who are building up when it comes to the pitchers, you're getting your at-bats. What does it look like, though, for the routine of a DH? So how do you kind of plan that as far as the season looks like?
It's kind of different here than it was in Florida. It's getting used to it here in Florida. We actually had a cage kind of accessible everywhere we kind of played, where most places we would play at, we could bounce out, take a couple swings in the cage, and then, go to your at-bat. Here, you're kind of stuck in the dugout, so kind of like my routine's a little bit shot. I'm kind of just sitting around and then, okay, go hit. So that's taking a little bit getting used to.
But I do see that you're talking to a lot of the guys and kind of spreading knowledge with them. What has it been like, not only building those relationships, but kind of building that understanding and how you can help them be better baseball players?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. I always say, I didn't have that when I was, young, and I was a young guy, and I remember swearing that if I ever became one of those veteran guys that I would always talk and always share everything I had and not hold anything in, because I knew how helpless I felt when I was in their seat, and just always wanting to pick the brains of, some of the veteran guys. But it's kind of a different time back then. But I love it. I love to do it.
Now, I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Everyone knows you and Robert Van Scoyoc. You guys are very good friends. But what is it like getting to just hang out with him in the dugout? Because I see you are with him all the time. And I know sometimes you're talking about baseball and hitting and things like that. But what's it like just being able to have your friend over here?
Yeah, it's great. He isn't just my coach. He's one of my best friends for many years. So just having him here is obviously a plus. Being able to just talk crap to him every day and give him a hard time and him wear me out. It's just the guys, everybody always laughs about it. Everyone always, they try to stir the pot with us. So we have a good time with it.
No, I can tell. It seems like you genuinely enjoy, yes, you talk baseball, but it seems like you two are just hanging out and having a good time. Well, JD, I appreciate you as always, and congrats on a great day.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, guys.
Those two just hanging out, having a good time. Ruby De La Rosa, the pitcher, facing Josue Uma right now. As the Cubs have a runner at second base and one man out. A swing and a miss. One of the things that JD said, Rick, is he needs a lot of at bats. He's got 36 at bats right now. A lot of times, what would you say was the kind of the cutoff where you say you might be ready? 50, 55?
Be somewhere around there. I think for most players, if they come into camp and they're healthy. What I don't know is about a designated hitter.
Next pitch from De La Rosa. Struck him out. Let's check in with Kirsten once again.
All right, well, now I've got Miguel Vargas. You had a deep home run over there. What'd you see at the plate? What allowed you to get that swing?
I don't know. I feel a lot better today.
Yeah.
So I was trying to make the ball in play, and hopefully got that swing. So I'm happy to got that result today.
That was your first home run of spring, and something is different about you right now. You've got cornrows in the hair. The braids are here. So does that mean the braids are here to stay since you got the results?
Maybe that's why the reason I get home run today. So I maybe keep it.
But the helmet's not staying on.
Nah, yeah, but it was better. It was better. It stayed more than before, so okay. I take it.
Did you get them? Because I feel like they're kind of like Bad Bunny. I know you love him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the icon for music, Latin music. Yeah. I take that. I'm the Latin. I take it.
But you have to get one little braid in the front. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, no, I can see the ball if I got that one. So I need to see better the ball. So
I love it. Do you have your song picked out for this season? Is it going to be him?
No, I'm waiting for him to take new song. So if he got a new one, I put it for sure.
Okay, maybe we can find someone and he can make you a song just for the Dodgers. I feel like that could be very fitting.
Oh my God, that would make my year. Yeah, 100%.
How are you feeling though? I mean, we've seen you, Miguel Vargas, and Miguel Rojas, and kind of the dynamic you guys have on the infield. What has it been like learning from him this year?
It means a lot. The way he explained me every single day, and then we got same language. We both are Latin guys. He helped me a lot. Now I'm a little bit more, in my language. So I like hanging out with him and on the field and outside the field too. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, Miguel, thank you so much, and congrats on a great day at the plate.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get back up to you.
All right, thank you, Kirsten.
I love his enthusiasm.
I'm guessing you guys share the same taste in music too. You're a big Bad Bunny guy, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I know you've graduated from Flavor Flav, so not Bad Bunny. Luis Torrens, catcher, swings and misses. 3-2. It's kind of an inside thing. Rick, a couple of times last spring threw Flavor Flav on a couple of these spring telecasts.
Yeah, and it was during the season. Last year's year before in San Diego, where when they hit a home run, the Padres, their deal was to put this big clock around the neck of the home run hitter when they got back to the dugout. And you and I were kind of looking at it and chuckling, and no, it wasn't quite that large.
Put a chain on that. It's about the right size.
Put a chain on that, you won't be moving around very much. But my line was, with the gold chain and the big clock, I said, oh, it's the Flavor Flav moment. And then my question was, Where on earth did Flava Flav have to be at the exact time that he needed a clock that large to tell him, hey, you're on time or you're running late?
Busy man. 2 on. Jacob Wetzel, who is now the left fielder for the Cubs, at the plate. Well, time is money, right? So it was important to him. Wetzel waiting. Ruby De La Rosa ready to deal. Dodgers up 9-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. I know you were enjoying the batting practice soundtrack here today. Some of the Cubs took optional BP out in the field today. Wetzel drives one in the air to right field and deep. Duggar back to the track, and this one's gone. Wetzel with a fist pump around first base. He hasn't played above A ball. And here in the A game, he's got a 3-run homer.
The smile that Wetzel has, I don't think he even felt the ground under his feet going around the bases. For De La Rosa, having trouble finding. He's been going for the corners of the plate, not able to find him, in this one right down Broadway, and adios.
Cubs sneaking back in this one. Just a 2-run game now at 9-7. Plate umpire Dan Merzel was telling De La Rosa to wait for the batter, I guess. Scott McKeon, the new shortstop. De La Rosa fires home. 2 outs, base is clear. There's a shot past Devin Mann at first base into right field. And he goes for 2 and gets there.
Well, he hesitated as soon as he went around the first base bag. And then he took off again. Well, he just went with the pitch. Now watch him. He'll look out. He'll hesitate. He said, no, I've got a chance to go. And he does.
The Campers are getting it done for the Cubs here in the 7th inning. Mark Pryor with a word. Up to Fiducia catching now for the Dodgers.
Well, there was a hesitation by McKeon because he saw the ball bobbled for an error in right field.
Parker Chavers was in right field. Played in the Complex League, the rookie league, and then low A last year for Chicago, and he is behind in the count, 0-1. One ball and 1 strike. Just some housekeeping on that last play, the hit by McKeon. That'll be ruled a single, and an error on Steven Duggar in right field that allowed him to advance to second base. So he will not get a double. In the air to left. And waiting for it is Drew Avens. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it in the 7th. 3 runs come in. Jacob Wetzel from minor league camp with a 3-run homer.
Hitter, you can't forget moments like these. Not when you've got the best seat in the house.
At the Dodger Stadium, March 30th for opening night, presented by Bank of America. Dodgers and Diamondbacks play one of 162. Thursday, March 30th. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Right there, Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce and star of Saturday Night Live. He is in attendance today. He's been everywhere since the Super Bowl. Did you catch any of his act on Saturday Night Live?
No, I missed it.
It was really, he's really good. He's pretty funny. There's a base hit. Luke Williams with a base hit to right field off left-hander Anthony Kay, who's in the game. Williams batting in the 9 spot in the batting order. His first plate appearance. He's the only lefty listed by the Cubs today, Anthony Kay. Duggar with nobody out and a man aboard. It's up high. I guess when you win the Super Bowl, you're kind of America's guest for a year anyway. Right?
Yep. Same way when you win a World Series. Stanley Cup.
So after you won in '81, what was that offseason like for you and your teammates?
Well, that was an offseason that the 4 of us that were tone deaf and couldn't sing, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, it's on YouTube if you want to see it, folks. Swing and a miss. You got to sing "We Are the Champions." You were on a number of TV shows. Solid Gold.
Carson Show, The Tonight Show.
Carson, yeah.
Mike Douglas, Bert Griffin. Two-night stay at Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
For our younger viewers, those were big deals back in the day. Those were the shows. Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, of course Johnny Carson. But for people of a certain age, you know what we're talking about. The Big Blue Wrecking Crew. So it was you, Steve Yeager,
Jay Johnstone, Jerry Royce. And if you play that, say if you're thinking about taking the wallpaper down in a room.
Runner goes, pitches up high for a ball, and the throw is into center field, and Williams will make it to third.
Well, you could put that throw in a string and sell it at the county fair.
Stolen base in an E2. The error on Luis Torrens, the new catcher. So what was harder, hitting a curveball or singing on live national television?
No, there was a chance of hitting a curveball. There was no chance to hit the right notes, whether it was on television or not.
Duggar reaches and strikes out.
But it was for a good cause. It was for charity. What I was saying is, if you do Google that and play it, if you're thinking about taking the wallpaper down off of the room, just put on a continuous play, go out shopping. By the time you come back, all the wallpaper would have fallen off the walls.
Infield in for Yanni Hernandez here.
Because you don't want to stay inside and listen to it.
But if you haven't seen it, you should see it.
The infield in, trying to shut down the run. What has turned into a slugfest.
Kay's pitch. That's wrapped foul. Well, we mentioned Bad Bunny today. Flava Flav. Got to have a Flava Flav in here in spring training. And then we mentioned Big Blue Wrecking Crew. You got any famous or favorite Irish bands or anything on St. Patrick's Day?
No.
No?
Well, being part Irish, no.
You don't like Dropkick Murphys? The Chieftains? That's a good one.
See, we're beginning to discover a totally different side of you.
Flogging Molly. Now there's a good one.
The what?
Flogging Molly. They're on tour right now.
Good for them. Not locally, I hope.
No. No. Two and two to Yanni Hernandez. Field in. Luke Williams, the runner at third, and Anthony Kay getting ready to send a pitch home, but time is called by Hernandez.
East Harbor's playing at Grind the Grape tonight.
Over in Vero Beach.
Yeah. Followed by DJ Bodega.
You guys serving corned beef and cabbage?
No.
No. Yeah, they're going to come. People are going to come there anyway. They're not going to. You don't need the corned beef and cabbage, I guess. Green beer? You have green beer?
No.
No. Nothing like that.
You're not even Irish.
On my mother's side.
Are you?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right.
Her last name is McCardle.
All right.
Very Irish.
We got all the bases covered. A little Irish.
Mendez looks at a pitch low.
Yeah, good take.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hernandez has shown us, swinging the bat pretty well a couple of different times that we've seen him.
Fouls this one back, stays alive.
There's another one of the youngsters too that we've seen from time to time has been most impressive as well. Vivas.
Yeah, he was sent back to minor league camp. Yobi Vivas was.
He's going to be an interesting study and follow him.
And Hernandez walks. First and third, 1 out. Well, it is St. Patrick's Day. Bradley Zimmer comes to the plate, and we can't let St. Patrick's Day go without talking about one of Southern California's finest ball players at one time. Irish Musial. Born in Long Beach. He's buried in Inglewood Park Cemetery in Inglewood, California. Went to Manual Arts High School in L.A. Made his major league debut October 1st, 1914 with Washington in the American League, the old Senators. Played for Philadelphia, played for the New York Giants, and finished in 1927 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Left fielder, Irish Musial. 1-0 pitch. That's up high. So Torrens will go out and talk to Kay here. Now a visit from the Cub dugout.
This is also the day we go way back. We've talked about him before, and it was a guy that I had the honor of getting to know Joe DiMaggio. It's on this date, 1936. DiMaggio is 21 years of age. He made his Yankee debut. He had 4 hits and a triple exhibition game, but that was really the opening for the MVP of the American League and future Hall of Famer. 13 seasons in New York with the Yankees. 10 World Series he played in.
You got close with Joe D. You were with the A's and he was coaching with the A's. He took a particular interest in one Rick Monday.
Well, he didn't really pound in you mechanics. He would ask you questions about your thought process. Occasionally ask you a question, you'd answer it, and then you just hang on every motion, every movement. Is that the right answer? Is that the right answer? Mr. DiMaggio, please.
Yankee Clipper.
Well, a lot of great players don't understand why others are not able to do what seem natural to them.
Hernandez will take second base. And now second and third and 1 out.
There are many that thought that Ted Williams, when he was managing for a brief period of time, had difficulty understanding. What do you mean you can't hit the ball the other way? What do you mean? Didn't have the eyesight. They didn't have the reflexes.
Swing and a miss. Some are out. 2 gone. Yeah, that's the way. I mean, the greatest players don't necessarily make the greatest managers.
It's like you go up to, I mean, one of the icons in any sport. What makes you great? Maybe greater than the rest of the pack. It's the intangibles. Ability, yes. Work ethic, yes. No question about it.
Nothing in 1 to Drew Avans. That's why you never managed, right? The great ones can't manage.
Well, it wasn't great, but I was asked at one point in time by an organization, "Hey, we'd like for you to manage." I think I'm going to be tying my shoes this afternoon. I won't be available.
It's not for everybody. Avans strikes out. 3 strikeouts in the inning. 1 hit, 2 left. On to the home half of the 8th. 9-7 Dodgers.
Yes.
There's Phil Beckford coming out of the Dodger bullpen, pitching in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers leading it 9-7. And the pitch in there for a called strike. DJ Artis, center fielder, batting in Hosmer's spot in the order. Pops this one up, might be playable. It will be, as Hernandez will backpedal back into fair territory. The wind got a hold of it, and Hernandez puts it away for out number 1. I got another one of our favorite St. Patrick's Day players I got to tell you about. Lucky Wright. That was his name, Lucky. Lucky Wright. He was out of Totogany, Ohio. He's buried there. We just don't have the great nicknames like we used to have in the game. He had nicknames. William the Red or Deacon were his names. But he pitched 1 year in 1909 for Cleveland. He went 0-4 with a 3.21 ERA. He had 5 major league appearances, and that was it. He wasn't that lucky. Lucky Wright. Bickford pitching to Hayden McGeary. I guess you got to have a McGeary in a game on St. Patrick's Day, right? And Bickford punches him up.
Well, for the Dodgers on this date, 2008, they played their last game at historic Dodgertown. And it was Carl Erskine who played the national anthem on his harmonica before that ballgame. Oysk, the author of 2 no-hitters in his terrific career with the Dodgers. I talked to Carl in November. He's doing okay.
Matt Mervis is 3 for 3. Takes up high. It's 2-1.
Erskine told the story also is that I believe it was the second no-hitter that he threw in his career. He didn't know if he was going to be able to pitch. He was sick as a dog. He goes, let me just go down to the bullpen and I'll see if I can warm up and what happened. So he figured he was going to last maybe 2 or 3 innings at most. He felt that poorly. Threw a no-hitter.
Isn't that always the way? What do you remember other than him playing the national anthem on the harmonica about that day at Dodgertown when they were getting ready to wrap it up and move west?
Yeah, he would play his harmonica a lot, and he played the anthem on numerous occasions. But that's how they used to entertain themselves, traveling around, whether it be on the trains and having ample time. But that group, and especially if you look at the '55 world champion Brooklyn Dodgers, they were more than just a team. They were like all brothers.
Times were different too because didn't have free agency.
Well, that group also, when you begin to look at it, that group collectively went through. They became brothers because you look at what Jackie Robinson meant to the game and meant to society when he was coming on with the Dodgers.
Yadier Hernandez hangs in there and the ball ends up in his glove. And we're going to go to the 9th inning. Bill Bickford with a 1-2-3-8. .37 on hand today. Great crowd at Sloan Park. Julian Merriweather pitching to Justin Yurchak. Yurchak getting a chance to hit in the DH spot. Tulsa, 282 hitter last year. Yurchak had a little bit of time at Wake Forest and went to SUNY in Binghamton, New York. State University of New York, SUNY. White Sox drafted him in 2017. He'll take one that was thrown up high by Merriweather. Merriweather out of San Mateo, California. Was with Cleveland for a while. And this one poked foul on the right side. Blue Jays also. Last year went 0-3 with the Blue Jays in 26 appearances. He actually had 1 start. Yurchak waiting, and here comes the 2-2. That's inside. You were talking about those Brooklyn Dodgers becoming brothers with all they had gone through. a lot, including a move west.
And really even more than just the brothers. You know, consider the fact, too, they became families. Spent so much time together.
Three, two. And Yurchak went around. He strikes out. I'm down in the ninth. Well, Merriweather will face Devin Mann. Came in for Ryan Ward at first base. 6 for 23 with a homer. Mann awaits the pitch. It's up high, ball one.
Got the idea of families when they got up and spoke about one another. There was one night fantasy camp down there that Don Zimmer got up and he started talking about Johnny Padres, and Zim came to tears because they were so close. And then Padres was asked to get up. He started talking about Zimmer and he came to tears. But when you saw them, there was something special about the camaraderie that they had. And I think they came closer together as human beings. And they realized the importance of it when Jackie joined them.
3-0 pitch. That's high, ball four. 1-out walk to Mann.
Because yes, they were all baseball players, but they also made comments to society.
To Fiducia up now. It just was not an easy time when the Brooklyn Dodgers came to town. After Jackie across the color barrier. Well, from what we understand, it was Branch Rickey's decision to have Jackie because of his character, not because he was the absolute best player they had in the minor leagues, but because he thought he could handle it and play well, and he did play well. But because he was the one who could handle it, handle the abuse he got. The rest is history. Fiducia takes strike three. And there are 2 outs in the top of the ninth inning.
You get rung up on that one. You go, wait a minute. I'd like to report someone just picked my pocket.
Report a crime.
Yeah. Stop that man.
Sean McLean getting another at bat. Played last night.
That called strike, by the way, will not be graded real high in review of 17-inch wide plate.
Last night when McLean was up, they gave the wrong high school he played at.
How do you know? Are they picketing outside already?
No, it didn't take long to hear about it.
Okay.
But Beckman High School is the correct one.
Okay.
The Tustin Unified School District.
All right.
He is from the city of Tustin. I mentioned he was from Irvine.
Okay.
From Tustin.
Everybody calm down.
No, I thank Lee for sending me a note on Twitter immediately. But that's good. I kept it because I wanted to correct that in case he got in the game today.
Good.
And here he is. Up on the board, they have his hometown as Costa Mesa.
Yes.
Might be where he was born.
So you can contact them.
Yes.
The scoreboard operator.
Time is called here. And this will just be a brief break. No pitch clock violation. 1-2. And the pitch to McLean. Also with the Irish sounding name, McLean.
Let me ask you, when time was called right there and then the eyes, was that because the hitter was not engaged with the pitcher? And if so, what happened to that ruling we heard about?
This one's popped up to right field. And Shavers underneath it. He'll make the catch. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. 3 outs to get for the Dodgers as they lead the Cubs 9-7. Final 3 outs for the Dodgers. 9 runs, 10 hits, and an error. The Cubs 7-9-1. Tyler Sear, 5th appearance. ERA a little higher than he wants it right now. It's 7.39. Tenth rounder by the Giants in 2015. Last year with the Phillies and the Athletics. 1 game in the big leagues with the Phillies, 11 with the A's. He spent a lot of the season in AAA with Lehigh Valley with the Phillies organization, and spent about a week or 2 with Las Vegas in the Pacific Coast League. Now that's a hat. Look at that Dodger hat right there. You need one for your collection.
Man is absolutely styling.
That is that's a style master. Verdugo, the third baseman, pops this one foul near the dugout. That'll go over the dugout. Yeah, that might be the hat of the day. I've seen enough of them, but that's probably the hat of the day. See her from Northern California, near the San Francisco area. Facing Luis Verdugo. Foul tip for a strike.
Yeah, he's not from Tustin.
He is not. It's from La Paz, Mexico. Ball in, 2 strikes. Time called, and here is a pitch clock violation on Sear. So the count will go to 2-2. Getting close to it again. Line shot to center. Zimmer there. 1 out. The Dodgers went down 1-0 in this game in the 3rd, but in the 4th inning they batted around, put 8 runs on the board on 7 hits. JD Martinez, a big day today for Dave Roberts' Dodgers. A 3-run home run and a 2-run double in the same inning. Jason Hayward had a run scoring double. Hayward had 2 hits in the game. Miguel Vargas 2 hits, including a home run. A solo shot in the 7th. Uma bounces one towards short. There's McLean with a backhand. Williams rather. McLean's at second. Luke Williams throws him out, and there are 2 away.
There is one fly in the ointment. If you're looking at the Dodgers offense, however, today, they struck out 17 times.
A lot of strikeouts.
That's a large boat full.
Torrens will take a strike. Cubs down to their last out. Dodgers will see the Cubs pretty early in the season. We'll see them a lot. The second homestand the Cubs will be in, and then the Dodgers go right to Chicago after that homestand, play them for 4. They'll play them 7 games in 10 days with the Mets wedged in between. And then they're done with them for the season on April 23rd.
So get ready for cold weather in Chicago.
Bring a jacket. Now a strike away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers looking to put their 11th win in the books. Get ready for the White Sox tomorrow at Camelback Ranch as the visitors. That is just foul. Adrian Johnson, third base umpire, right on it. Sear delivers. There's a shot right to Yanni Hernandez, and the ball game is over. Dodgers win it 9-7 and defeat the Cubs on this St. Patrick's Day Friday afternoon. So high fives all the way around as the Dodgers didn't need too much luck today on St. Patrick's Day, and 9-7 winners. Make sure to join us tomorrow on Sportsnet LA when the Dodgers take on the White Sox. First pitch is at 1:05 p.m. For Rick Monday and Kirsten Watson and our entire crew here in Mesa, I'm Tim Neverett saying so long for now. Make sure to stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers coming up right now.